Crew joining us live from Melbourne. The federal opposition has a new headache after a disappointing result for New South Wales Labor in a key by-election. The Berejiklian government defied history, winning the Upper Hunter seat with ease. It's a confidence booster for the Prime Minister as he prepares to target the region ahead of the federal election.
The only thing louder than the cheers from the Nationals campaign event last night would have been the warning bells in Labor head office.
Our result is a terrible result. Our result is a result that no one in our party thought that we would end up with.
History suggests it should have been close. By-elections usually see swings against governments, and this was a coalition in its third term trying to hold a seat vacated by a Nationals MP who was accused of sexual assault and sending lewd texts in Parliament. But in the end, this was a quick knockout.
My goodness, geez, we were killing it. We were absolutely killing it.
Labor's primary vote retreating more than 7% compared to the Nationals' 3%.
We didn't expect that our vote would go to independents. We didn't expect our vote would be torn away like it was.
In a field of 13 candidates, the top independent was Kirsty O'Connell, who received the backing of former Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull.
A big thank you to Malcolm Turnbull. Thank you, Malcolm!
In conceding defeat, Labor candidate Jeff Drayton says working class communities are hurting and they're turning away from this government. However, right now, they don't see Labor as the answer. An issue for the federal party to consider as the Morrison government targets 3 seats at the Hunter region, where it last week announced a $600 million gas-fired power station.
But I wouldn't be rushing to jump to conclusions about this having big implications federally. I mean, it was a state by-election.
We're the party of workers. Workers aren't voting for us. Why aren't workers voting for us?
And Lachlan Kennedy joins me now from New South Wales State Parliament. Lachie, Labor leader Jodie McKay says she takes responsibility for this huge loss. Does that mean she'll resign?
No, it doesn't, Chris. She says that, but she's not going anywhere. She says it would be a cop-out to make this a leadership issue. However, it must be said there are some within her party that'll see that comment as a cop-out in itself. Regardless, Jodie McKay says there is no challenge against her at the moment, and rather she sees last night's result as part of a fundamental problem with the conversation Labor is trying to have with the community, mainly that their message isn't getting through. Now, one possible explanation for that is the pandemic. The Premier, Gladys Berejiklian, has been in the media every day talking about COVID, and opinion polls do show broad approval with the way the coalition government has handled the pandemic. The Australian Financial Review magazine even last month referred to Gladys Berejiklian as the woman who saved Australia. Now, that is the kind of profile that Jodie McKay as an opposition leader is up against. Now, with all this said, of course, the next state election here in New South Wales isn't until 2023. Is that enough for the Labor leader's fortunes to change? Well, we'll see, or perhaps her colleagues will be making the change for her before that. Chris?
Thanks, Lachie. Lachlan Kennedy joining us live from New South Wales State Parliament. A manhunt's underway after a vicious home invasion in Sydney's west. 3 men allegedly broke into a granny flat